And also we need to just create a cultural norm of sustainability. Ultimately, sustainability is about making the right decisions. It's not about, well, it is partially about big technological advances like solar panels and battery storage, but it's also about the little decisions we make every day. It's about flushing the low-flow toilet. It's about deciding to ride your bike to campus instead of driving your car. And I think that as we lead by example here at the university, we begin to create this cultural norm of sustainability. It becomes just what you do. In research, I think you can connect this as well to the students' learning by operating the campus as a living laboratory, by actually sort of demonstrating your research on campus and showing how it might work. You're providing an ideal setting to develop new strategies and systems that can be scaled out to the community level and to state levels and other institutional levels. And you're providing the students the opportunity to engage in this, as well as our staff and the other people who are here on campus. I think that research necessarily for sustainability needs to be collaborative and sort of interdisciplinary. I think we tend to sort of sit in our silos a lot around research, and in order to address the problems of sustainability, which are about economics, society, and the environment, we need to bring all those scientists and researchers together and bring them to the table to talk to each other about what we can do to answer the real problems of the future. And that's also a really important point. We need to bring in all the people in our community and our government to find out what are the issues that they're addressing, what are the things that they need from higher education in order to solve the problems of the future. And last but not least, I think we really need to focus on the human dimension more. About 75% of research dollars go to what we call the hard sciences, or engineering, biology, chemistry, and only about 25% of that money is going to our human dimension, our soft sciences, sociology, psychology. And I think, again, sustainability is about behavior change. It's about making the decision to plant a garden in your backyard. It's about deciding to buy local instead of buying from Walmart. And so in order to do that, I think we really need to have behavior change. And to do that, we need the research to back it up. I think that the future of sustainability is about universities and education, higher education, walking the talk, making sure that the universities reflect the values of sustainability, not just through environmental protection by being more energy conscious or being more water conscious, but also reflecting the values of the social side and the economic side, investing their money transparently, actually showing that their population on campus, both staff, faculty, and students, is diverse and is representing human rights and human values, paying fair wages. All those things are reflected in the university's business operations. It's important that universities and higher education institutions state sustainability, put the triple bottom line into their mission and vision, so it's a guiding principle for them moving forward, and it's a beacon to the rest of the community that this is what the universities are about. And they need to incorporate into guiding documents things like their master plan, so that as they move forward and leadership changes, the university's goals and the university's values don't change over time, but that becomes sort of the core tenet of what the university is doing. And last but not least, I think it needs to be incorporated into measurement and reward systems. Any indicators the university is using to measure its progress, I think sustainability needs to be there. And it needs to be incorporated in things like job descriptions, performance appraisals, and any reward systems that the universities and higher education institutions have, both formal and informal. I think probably the biggest thing that universities and higher education institutions can do for their own sustainability, as well as to address sustainability of our future, is to be resilient, is to be able to bounce back from change. Our world is going to change. We're seeing the deterioration of ecosystem services. Fossil fuel is ultimately going to run out. We're seeing climate change happen at a rapid rate. And what universities are going to be able to do when we have 120-degree days, or when we hit peak oil and prices are rising, is going to be the key to their sustainability and their ability to continue to provide quality education. So I think they need to have an adaptive approach and make sure that there's redundancy built into the systems, and that the university can actually respond to these crises or these problems and still be able to provide quality education and be adaptive in their approach to management, as well as to be responsible for future generations, because we are a university and we have responsibility to the students we're teaching, and we use a ton of resources and produce a ton of waste, and we need to remember that as we're thinking about our operations. I think we need to think about the fact that we're all in this together. I think operations, the physical plant and facilities folks manage the operations over here, procurement manages the purchasing, and the students and the faculty are over here developing curriculum and research. And I think the more we can create a sort of a transparency of this, and they can all work together to create a system that's a learning system. The staff become engaged in the curriculum and the mission of the university and are more excited about being a part of a university. And the students and the faculty are learning about how to solve real-world problems and solving things for the university systems themselves. That way, students, staff, and faculty are engaged in decision-making as well. They have the opportunity for shared governance, and I think, just like values are different from institution to institution, they're just different from department to department. And we have a lot that we can learn just by bringing everybody to the table and talking to them and hearing their voices and their problems and being able to sort of incorporate those into the way that we do things. Last but not least, universities are part of a larger community, and so they need to make sure that they are, again, linking their research to the social goals, to the things that are going on in our world and responding to the realities out there. I think we can join with the private sector and governments in what I like to call knowledge action partnerships, or things where we're creating the research and we're developing the knowledge and we're figuring out how we can connect that and translate it so that it's usable in our communities. And we can share and translate this for individuals as well. Here at the University of Florida, we're a land-grant institution, and so we have a mandate to do extension in every county across the state. But I think all of higher education has a responsibility to figure out how they can translate the work that they're doing here so that people in the community can use that research in their day-to-day lives. So we don't have a crystal ball to understand what sustainability is going to look like. And there is no one-size-fits-all strategy for sustainability in higher education. But I think that we can remember that higher education is the foundation for sustainability in our communities, and it will lead by example, and it will help to facilitate the conversations and the partnerships that are needed to make a sustainable, adaptive, and resilient society. And luckily, higher education has already been a leader in this movement. We've been working really hard, I think, at higher education to incorporate sustainability both into our business practices and into our research and education. In 1990, presidents developed the Talwar Declaration, which was a declaration of presidents saying that they would protect our environment, and it currently has over 350 signatories. In 2006, the Association for the Advancement of Sustainability in Higher Education was developed, and this amazingly has over 880 members. It just blows my mind and makes me really excited to think about. It's growing fast, and it's a place that we can go for resources, for partnerships, for information, and so that we can work together with other institutions. This isn't a competition, this is about working together to make sustainability happen. And they've also developed STARS, which is a sustainability trading and rating system, tracking and rating system, thank you. And this is what I think will become the gold standard for an indicator set in sustainability in higher education. So it'll be a way for us to measure our progress and how we're doing. And in 2007, the President's Climate Commitment was developed, and this is a commitment of university presidents to meet Kyoto Protocol and ultimately develop carbon neutrality action plans, and it has over 600 signatories. And of course, all of our business, our professional organizations are also incorporating sustainability into what they do and into the resources that they provide. So we have lots of partnerships and lots of places to look for resources and support. And luckily, UF has been a leader in all of these. It was an early signer to the Talwar, was an early member of ASHE, and Dr. Matcham was the first president to sign the President's Climate Commitment. So UF has been a leader in the sustainability movement, and I hope that it continues to be so in the future. So with that, I will stop talking and open it up for a dialogue and listen to what you all have to say about the future of sustainability in higher education. And feel free to take any questions on what I've talked